A federal judge now blocking portions of Florida's ban on gender transition care for minors. That federal judge in Florida's Northern District ruling this week that much of that 2023 law was unconstitutional. The governor's legal team vowing an appeal. Forrest Saunders is back with where this goes next.
Federal Judge Robert Hinkle delivered another blow to another controversial Florida law Tuesday. In his 105-page opinion, he found that SB 254, essentially banning gender transition care for minors and making it harder for adults, was unconstitutional, blocking the state and med boards from enforcement. Hinkle said in part gender identity is, quote, real, and that Florida cannot deny patients, quote, safe and effective medical treatment that has, quote, the state's full approval, so long as the purpose is not to support the patient's transgender identity.
Today, so many people are going to be able to resume receiving care from their trusted providers who had been displaced.
Attorneys for the plaintiffs said the ruling would help an estimated 100,000 plus transgender Floridians and that their legal team was already prepping for the state to appeal to the 11th Circuit.
You know, it's always hard to guess what any court of appeals is going to do. However, what I will say is this order is so comprehensive and thorough and robust and makes crystal clear that we proved our case under any standard of review.
Florida's GOP-controlled legislature and governor approved SB 254 last year.
We need to let our kids just be kids, and we have a very crazy age that we live in.
The argument from the get-go was that the treatments were harmful to children, lawmakers calling them experimental, despite backing from groups like the American Medical Association.
You're allowed to be stupid in this country, so there's no desire to stop this. For adults. Children, it's a whole different story.
The governor's press team reaffirmed that position in a statement Tuesday and said an appeal indeed was coming. Quote, these procedures do permanent, life-altering damage to children, and history will look back on this fad in horror.
Brian Crowley, culture wars, talk about it.
Well, it's sometimes sad that we get so deep into these culture wars that we forget about some of the bigger problems that we have in the state. Some good news we got last week was that Disney and Ron DeSantis have kissed and made up, and now they all love each other. I think the trans issue for children is complicated. I think it's something best left to doctors and families. I think with a lot of issues, when it's medical issues, does government really should they really have a role? And I will give you another example. If government wants to be heavily involved, there's somebody that my sister knows who lives in Southwest Florida, 1 year old, got diagnosed with a rare eye cancer, had to have the left eye removed. The cancer is now in the right eye. May have to have the right eye removed. The kid is now approaching 2 years old.
Oh, goodness.
They have to drive to Miami for care. Can you imagine the trauma that family is going through in dealing with a 1 year old? They're going to have to get prosthetic eyes, And the other problem they have is fighting with the insurance company. And there are tens and tens and tens of thousands of dollars that aren't being paid by the insurance company. But I don't hear the legislature or the governor get involved in that kind of an issue. So, picking and choosing which kids you care for is one thing, but, maybe we should care about all kids.
Brian, talk, not the only culture war issue. We've got the abortion amendment on the ballot. We've got other news this week. What else is top of mind for you that could help influence the electorate this fall, not only in Florida, but nationwide?
Well, the IVF decision by the court is huge. I think that when you add that on top of the abortion issue, in vitro fertilization issue has given Democrats two big issues that they're going to try to use in November. I think it's notable that Senator Rick Scott came out in support of IVF. I think he genuinely supports it, but there are a number of Republicans out there who kind of find themselves struggling with that issue because it's hugely supported by voters out there, and so dancing around that issue is not going to be really easy for them.
The gun debate goes on, and one more piece of that debate will be the Supreme Court ruling late in the week, just a couple of days ago on bump stocks.
Yeah, it was on, you know, it was kind of sad that the bump stock ruling came out the same day, Friday, that construction workers were tearing down the classrooms where the Parkland shooting took place, killing 17.
And just to note, bump stocks was not involved there, but certainly,
it was not involved.
Certainly the debate about guns. Vegas was where most prominently and horribly the bump stock issue became a debate. But nonetheless, it's a tie-in about the whole gun debate.
Because you had family and friends who were there watching the demolishing of this classroom, reliving what had happened to their children and teachers that were murdered. And, you know, it doesn't mean the court was right or wrong, just sort of the unfortunate timing. They obviously had no idea, knowing that was happening in Broward County as they were releasing the opinion. But the gun debate's never going to go away.
Brian, let's sort of begin to turn the arc back to where we began in terms of the politics of the moment. We're now getting into summer, and hopefully we can put our canoes away with all the rain we've had in the past week. You know, we had the Hunter Biden conviction. We've had the conviction of former President Trump in New York. The fact that the sitting president's son, Hunter Biden, is convicted, I think we have some footage there that we can put up, was convicted. The former president convicted. Does it in some ways neuter the argument for the former president that that the justice system's being weaponized against me when you see a sitting president's son convicted? Republicans argue there's a whole host of other things he should be investigated on. What's sort of your take on that, and what voters think about all this right now? And we look at all the other cases, none of which may go to trial involving the former president this year. In fact, it seems unlikely, but can you parse this for us?
Well, I think it weakens the argument that it's a Biden judiciary and that it's a Biden-run Justice Department that's, you know, all part of the deep state, because as a father, if he has that much control over what's going on, I don't think there'd be the risk of his son going to jail. And, you know, we need our leaders to demonstrate that they have more faith in the judicial system, and that we try to remove the politics from the judicial system. And in both, whether it was Donald Trump or Hunter Biden, they were independent jurors, average citizens who arrived at a decision after hearing the case, and nobody convicted of a crime is ever happy about it.
And if we ignore that jury system, we sure do so at our own peril. I was talking to a history professor some months ago, said if we start ignoring the bedrock parts of our system, whatever the case, whatever one's views, and goodness knows there are plenty of them, then we are on a different slippery slope.
We've created a very dangerous atmosphere in this country. I was listening to somebody being interviewed the other day, a woman at a Trump gathering, who was saying that you know, she's ready for civil war. Well, we don't need that kind of talk. This is not the kind of country that our founders envisioned, and we need to just knock that kind of stuff off and heartily debate issues, get as cranky as you want about things, vote for who you want, insist that we have fair elections, and then move on.
We'll move on to, we'll have your closing comments on the other side. You know, I was thinking 13 plus years we've been sitting at this table together, and I always learn something from you every week. Back with more from Brian, just a moment.